got a plan I'm sticking to. The word is out all over town, but I don't let it get me down. I ain't about to push around. If they could only see me now, so there's one thing on my mind, and I am working out a time I'm coming through today. I am a woman on a mission. Whoa. Nothing can stop me, I'm stronger than ever. I'm gonna see this through. I am a woman on a mission. Whoa. Whatever it takes, I'll do what I gotta do. Good morning, love beams. How are we? I'm going to start every bloody live I do with that music because I love it. It gets me in the mood. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Sunday. How are we? I am officially on a mission and I've got red lipstick on because do you know what? If somebody tells me I can't do something, I do it and I do it again. Good morning, good morning, good morning. If you have not seen my Instagram post, from this morning, I went out with some friends last night and basically somebody said to me, but spiritual mentors don't wear red lipstick. And I was like, whoa, that's very, very, very interesting because where has that come from? You know, so clearly I had a beautiful conscious conversation and the person was pretty astounded when I kind of like stripped off because it's so cold at the moment. Anyone that's going out, you know, you've got to be outside. So kind of like stripped off, out on a backless top. My side boob was hanging out. My tats were hanging out. I've got a tattoo down my back and one on my side. And basically I was like, so clearly you're not going to like any of that then. And they were just flabbergasted completely. So I actually wanted to start with that this morning, everybody. We are in a moment in time where every single person is judging everything that you are doing. Even the people that say they're not judging, they're judging, okay? So we must recognize when this is taking place and deal with it in a way that is authentic to us. Now, for any of you guys, thank you, Keith, appreciate you, my friend. For any of you guys that know me, you know I am cheeky as hell and I get away with it because I'm like a little pocket rocket. And literally I can get away with a lot because I just have this level of cheek and sassiness. And to be honest with you, I don't really take things too seriously. So that's the way that I feel that I deal best with anything like that. If it triggers me, which it didn't at all last night, because I'm going to tell you a little story. I'm going to tell you a little story about red lipstick this morning because this is going to be very, very interesting. It used to trigger me when people would put me down, but now I just see that it is something within them. So I don't see somebody saying, but spiritual mentors don't wear red lipstick. I don't see that as somebody putting me down. I see that as I've got no idea what a spiritual mentor is, and I perhaps need some coaching on this. So, and they were using the red lipstick as an example and a reason to have that conversation with me. And it was purely because this person had overheard our conversation. And one of the girls was basically saying, I'm blown away by the amount of people that you coach, Lucy. I'm blown away by the amount of people that follow you and that you are you're a mentor to so many. And obviously they took because I've never called myself a spiritual mentor. Like, it's just not what I do. This word spiritual doesn't actually resonate with me. It's so funny, but it doesn't. But I did have my spiritual gangster top on, not that anybody could see it because it was so bloody cold last night and had to be layered up. But my point of sharing this morning is, ladies and gents, if anybody highlights something within you or on you, physically on you, like red lipstick is on me, or maybe your shoes or your whatever, just remember that it is a reflection coming from themselves. Now, I want to share something with you. From the get-go, when I used to go out, and many of you will remember, I used to wear like a real baby pink colour. You would never, ever, ever see me. Do you like this top? Wild Heart Gypsy Soul. I'm just feeling sassy as hell at the moment. I'm like, right, I'm just going to do it. Anyway, so basically, many years ago, when I used to go out, I don't really go out much anymore. Like literally, I just don't really go out much anymore. It's not really resonant to me. I love going for a dance, but I'm not really a, go out and party all night kind of girl anymore. It's just not where I'm at with my life right now. And it doesn't matter if you do or you don't. No judgment. You do what you got to do. You do you, boo, as I always say. So I used to go out, and I used to wear really baby pink like lipsticks, or like a coral kind of color, but a real light coral. It was just kind of like it's kind of that it's there, but it was subtle. And it was in 2014, before, actually no, it was in 2013, before I went through my physical burnout, that one of my girlfriends in Portsmouth actually said to me, we were going out, and she just said to me, Lucy, can I just make a suggestion? And I was like, of course, babe. Like, I loved her. She was a really good friend of mine. She helped me get on my path without even knowing it. And she basically said to me, Luce, can I put some lipstick on you? And I was like, of course you can, babe. Like, whatever, like, do what you've got to do. And she said to me, right, what colour do you want? And she held up 2 lipsticks. I was going to hold up 2 lipsticks, but I don't have them. I've just got my essential oil roll on. So that's not really a lipstick. So she held up 2. One was like a really bright pink. And one was like post-box red. And I was like, no, babe, neither of those are going to work. None of them are going to work for me. And she was like, what the hell are you talking about, Lucy? And this is exactly what I said. I said to her, my mum told me when I was younger that because my lips are so thin, wearing a bright red lipstick will highlight the fact that my lips are thin. I bet none of you have ever noticed, right? It will highlight it. Whereas if you just have like a pastel color or a pale color or whatever, it will kind of like just make everything look very beautiful and very natural. So of course, I love my mum. I trust my mum implicitly. As you guys know, I love my mum. I'm going to talk about her in a little bit, but I just ruled it out. I ruled out wearing any bright color lipstick. I wasn't going to wear bright pink. I wasn't going to wear red. No way. I wasn't going to do it because, like I always wanted big fat lips, and I'll be honest with you guys, up until about 2012, I wanted to get my lips done. The irony of it all, right? I really wanted to have big fat lips. I wanted to have like, if any of you have seen my sister, my lips like my sister, because she has fillers and that kind of stuff. So, like that's what I wanted to do. And then like when I went through my, what I call my burnout, and obviously my awakening and my remembrance into this beautiful journey that I'm in now, I was like, why on earth would I do anything to my physical vessel? Why would I get Botox in my forehead that people have told me that I need if I want to be on TV? Why would I get my lips plumped up? Why wouldn't I just love who I am fundamentally, wholly and truthfully? And that is where Self-Love Club came from. Because I was the girl that wanted bigger boobs because I used to have big boobs. I was the girl, or I am the girl, that has literally had to do so many squats over the years to actually get a little bit of a peach of a bum. I used to have a flat bum, and it was never really fat, but it was flat, I was the girl that always wanted to be something that I wasn't, and I would compare myself. And this is how I went on my spiral. This is why my physical vessel burnt out, because I was sabotaging myself based on the insecurities that had been passed down to me from the ancestral lines, but also the nonsense that went on in my head. And by default, no doubt all of you have nonsense that goes on in your head. And that's why I wanted to speak about it this morning. And I know it's a very girly subject, guys, and I'm really sorry about it, but this covers everything. It doesn't have to be about lipstick. I'm purely using lipstick as the catalyst to have this, discussion. So for me personally, it is not resonant to inject Botox into my skin. It is not resonant for me to pump my lips up. It's just not resonant. But back then, like 10 years ago, I wanted that to be done. However, I'm just not okay with that. Why would I detox my whole body? Why would I advocate against injections? Not that I'm anti, because at the end of the day, as long as you make an informed decision, you do what you've got to do. Like literally, you do what you've got to do. But why would I be doing that if I was prepared to do all of this stuff to myself? And it's just such a huge epiphany. We are all absolutely beautiful the way that we are. We are absolutely stunning. All of us have been made divinely perfect based on what the source, whether that be God or divine or whatever, wanted for us. So it's extremely interesting that in a world whereby we are so distracted, we are, there's so much division taking place, that actually, if you stop and have a look at it, we have been conditioned from birth to think that we're not good enough. Like my mum must have told me at about, I don't know, maybe 14 or something about the lips. Okay, literally about 14. And now that's stuck with me and it will stay with me to the end of the day. I don't ever listen. And the interesting thing about it is now, and please smash the thumbs up button, the like button on this, if you think that this is an amazing turnaround, whenever I post a picture, my mum's on WhatsApp. She's not on anything else, but she's on WhatsApp. So on my status on WhatsApp, I will post pictures. So later on today, I will post a picture of me going out last night. And I know she'll message me and she'll say, red lipstick really suits you, Lucy. And what's so fascinating is that she had this belief in her head for such a long time. And even the first couple of times I wore it, she was like, Luce, you do know. And I went, Mum, I love it. It makes me feel something. I don't know what. It makes me feel something. And I just love it. And we don't need lipstick, ladies. We don't. But you know what? Sometimes there is just like this extra sassiness that we would like. And for me, it's wearing high heels as well. As soon as I put on a pair of high heels, we have got Sassy Sally in the house. Like for anybody that hasn't been following me for very long, I went through a massive transitional period in 2014, 2015. And I kind of created this almost alter ego. And whenever I needed to go and be sassy and, speak in front of thousands of people, I would call in this person called Sassy Sally, and I would put on the heels and I would put on the red lipstick and I would go. Now I don't need to do that, but I'm still very, I still love that, that thing, that calling in that thing, and I love it. I love it whenever I put my heels on, and whenever, it doesn't matter if I've got bloody jogging bottoms on, but if I put a pair of heels on, I am like Sassy Sally is in the house. Give me red lips and I literally feel like I can change the world. Yeah, and literally everybody used to take the mick out of me on Facebook because they were like, Sassy Sally, where the hell has that come from? And I was like, I don't know, but I love it. I absolutely love it. And it is so, because Lucy, although she's straight talking and although she's, beautiful and loving, everybody used to call me Lucy Love. There was always a layer of, holding back, because I didn't want to hurt people's feelings or whatever. And then whenever I pull out Sassy Sally, I just get this whole new vibe coming through. So long story short, if you are somebody that wants to wear red lipstick, wear red lipstick. If you are somebody that wants to wear a bright red dress, wear a bright red dress. Boys, if you want to go out with no boxers on, you go out with no boxers on. Do not give a damn about what anybody else is saying to you. Do you, boo. Honesty for the rest of your time here on this wonderful planet that we have been blessed to reside on this lifetime. Go and do you, whatever that looks like. Please just do not hurt other people. Like last night, I didn't bitch about this person or highlight this person was being mean or anything. I just basically said, well, you ain't going to like my tats and my side boob then, are you? That is what I said. And if you go and look at my stories, there's a photo that I had taken earlier on in the night. But it was literally what popped in my head when they said this to me. And I was like, well, you ain't going to like the side boob and you're not going to like the tattoos, are you? And I know this person was doing it because they wanted to have a conversation with me. They wanted to communicate. But rather than saying, hey, I'd really like to talk to you because you seem to fascinate me. I don't know why, but I'm drawn to you, which my soul would go, oh my God, you're going to help this person awaken. They looked to put me down. And a lot of people do that. Actually, it wasn't even putting me down. I don't take it as putting me down. But they looked to, kind of come with a bit of a sideways dig. So to have the consciousness on this, everybody, I would really, really appreciate it if you could, because there's a lot of people out there right now that are shooting from the hip. They're very, very reactive, and we don't need to be like that. We literally do not need to be like that. So first and foremost, thanks to my mum for telling me I couldn't do something and me going, screw you, I'm going to do it anyway. Thank you to my girlfriend, Emma, the lady who literally forced me to go out in bright pink or red. And I think I went out in bright pink that day because I was like, red's too much. And then when I was brave enough to wear the red, I absolutely loved it. And to be honest with you, I don't think I've got some other coloured lipsticks that I wear, much more pale ones. And I've got this beautiful one here. That was actually given to me. This is a really beautiful colour. But I love the red. honestly, I love the red. So, and I love red nail varnish as well. I didn't have time to get my nails done yesterday, but it is what it is. So thank you to everybody who contributed to Lucy becoming Sassy Sally and wearing red lipstick. Like, I love it so much. Oh my God, I need some love. I saw my mum yesterday for the first time in 14 months. OMG, it was amazing. Amazing. Now, I may get a little bit emotional this morning. I can see that my eyes and feel that my eyes are welling up a little bit already. A lot has changed since the last time I saw you last week, everybody. Basically, in the last week, my beautiful uncle, who was extremely close to me, my mum's oldest brother, actually passed. He, some of you will know because you have been connecting with me, doing healing meditations and all sorts of different bits and pieces. And yeah, basically on Wednesday evening, he actually said so long to his physical vessel and he left the planet. Now, 14 months is a long time to not see your mum. But my mum was one of my uncle's carers and I had to respect her wishes. I had to respect her wishes. He didn't want to see anybody, which I understand. He kind of ballooned from the steroids and the chemotherapy and, he lost his speech. And obviously you guys know that what I do for a living, I help people heal things like this. And, but unfortunately there was a block. There was a block from a couple of people in the family that didn't want me to do like a really deep fast with him and really kickstart his body. So do you know what, guys, as I was going to say, as challenging as it's been, it hasn't been challenging at all because I really do appreciate that everybody is on their own path. I would like to have put him on a strict fast. I would have done it with him. I would have liked to have done a lot of other therapies with him, that I've been working with other people and they've been successful around the world. However, it's not my place to force my beliefs or anything like that on people. So, this is something, and I really wanted to share today. And I know a number of you were concerned that I wasn't going to be on today. But this is a really, really, really important topic that we're talking about. And I actually spoke to somebody yesterday evening and said to them, look, I would really appreciate if we can do an open conscious conversation on my YouTube channel around death. I think it's extremely important right now. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. I really, really appreciate it. It is, it is emotional. It is sad. I also know that he is in a much better place. I actually asked on Thursday. I was driving to the supermarket because I only found out at about 10:30 on Thursday morning. When I was driving to the supermarket or to, I don't know, somewhere, the post office or something like that at about 12:30, I actually, just before I got in my car, I said, Uncle, his name was Michael, said, Unc, please, can you just give me a sign that you're okay? Please give me a sign that you are going to connect with me as soon as you possibly can. I love you. I miss you. I'm gutted. I couldn't see you. I was very upset at this point because you are allowed, your human needs to be sorry. Your human needs to mourn. You can't just switch it off and all the rest of it. You have to, and funerals are a great place to do that. It's really, really beautiful and releasing at funerals. I always cry a lot because it's just the sheer emotion of the place where you are, feeling the emotions of the people that you love. And for me personally, the main thing for me was I was, so upset for my cousin. My cousin's like, I don't know, maybe 5-10 years younger than me. And I just find that so tragic. On top of that, it's my mum. My mum is my mum. Whatever her beliefs are, whatever she thinks, wherever she's at in her life, my mum is my mum and I love her so much. And to hear her sobbing down the phone because her big brother has gone and now my mum's the oldest in the family, it's tragic. It's extremely, extremely heart-wrenching. So like I was saying, I spoke to my uncle and I just said to him, please give me a sign that you're okay. Please give me a sign that you're going to connect in with me as soon as you possibly can, as soon as you've got the strength, as soon as you're ready to. And I was driving to the supermarket and a massive angel appeared in the sky. Absolutely unbelievable. And I just burst into tears and I was like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. Thank you. And I was like, archangels, please protect Michael. And I just did a little protection thing. Anyway, I went and did what I had to do. I was out for about an hour and on the drive back, I looked up in the sky again and there was another angel, and I was like, okay, he's communicating with me. So that's great. And I've just given him permission whenever he's ready. And what is so interesting, there's so many things here that I'm now taking from this. So my nan actually passed at 67 years of age, many years ago now, like 20 odd years ago now, however long ago it was. And my nan actually passed of pancreatic cancer in when she was 67. Now, she was told in the January and she died in the March. My uncle was diagnosed last May or June. And he basically had a seizure on Bank Holiday Monday last year. And within about a month or two, he was diagnosed with these brain tumours. Now, what is extremely interesting is that my uncle was 67 when he passed. There is a hereditary ancestral line that needs to be healed. So now I've got the awareness of that. I feel it goes female, male, female. So I feel that one of the grandchildren in my generation are going to be the next in the generation, in the generational curse. Okay. So what is very interesting is, do you guys remember, it was on my mum's side of the family that every single female had the womb issues. They either had a full hysterectomy or the issues killed them or whatever. And that's been going on for 7 generations until it got to me. So I am now extremely, extremely on a layer of consciousness with the ancestral trauma on my mum's side of the family. Okay. Now I know that ancestral trauma with regards to the womb stopped with me. It stopped with me. And it's quite interesting because I made a commitment when this was all happening and they threatened me with a full hysterectomy when I was 33. It was at that point, this was the first time they threatened me with it. Obviously I got threatened with it again in 2018, but the first time they threatened it with me, I remember saying to my mum, there is no way I'm having a child until this is sorted. Like, no way. And of course, now I've sorted it. I know I've sorted it. I have absolutely 0 issues and I'm doing really well. So now I'm like, okay, of all the grandchildren on my mum's side of the family, and there's lots of us, there's only 2 females, myself and my sister. So I am now going to connect in, not right now in front of you, but I am now going to connect in and understand where this curse is coming from. And I am going to do the work to get that gone before my sister or I obviously reach the age of 67, because there's a huge line going on. Okay, so please get a level of consciousness on this. Now, most people would be like, why are you not crying? Why are you not, and you're thinking about this. This is the way that I have been designed. The reason I share this stuff with you is because you guys need to recognize this in your own family lines. You must recognize this. Sometimes it skips generations. Sometimes it does, other things. I mean, my mum was impacted by skin cancer. Some of you will remember I've shared that. About 20 years ago, maybe less than that, maybe about 18 years ago, because my mum, there was a number of traumas in a very short period of time, and then my mum got skin cancer, and obviously they blame it on the sun, but it isn't, it's trauma. And what's so interesting is that my mum was, I'm going to use the word just so that you get it. I love my mum, please do remember this, but my mum was quite vain, which is why it impacted her face. To get her to wake up, they thought, right, we're going to do something to your face. My uncle, it was his brain which stopped his speech. My uncle loved to talk. Literally, he loved to talk. And what was so interesting, and it really, really broke my heart, in about August or September of last year, you will remember on Facebook, I was doing a huge amount of healing meditations for my uncle, and he was like really feeling it as we were doing it. It was a very, very, very beautiful, profound experience to help him recognize that energy really works. And it was in about August, September time that he said to me, Lucy, I always thought you were a little bit like off the wall, with your transition from the investment banking into what you do today. He said, but if there's one thing, because at this point he could still speak properly, he said, if there's one thing that I've recognized, Lucy Lou, is I've got a purpose. There is a purpose behind this. There is a purpose behind it. So he's there with 3 tumors that he knew was gonna kill him. And then all of a sudden he's like, oh my gosh, there's got to be a reason I've been given this. Now, unfortunately for him, it was too late. Within about a month or 2, he'd lost his speech. He'd lost, the right-hand side of his body had completely given up. He was in a wheelchair and just, all sorts of different bits and pieces. Now, I'm just going to talk a little bit. In fact, no, let me just go on where I am. Can somebody remind me to come back to the pizza that I had yesterday? Because I really, really would like to come back to the pizza, if that's okay. I'm going to write it down, but if somebody can bring me back to the pizza in a little bit. So I'm actually going to talk about that, Nicola, in a minute, autoimmune disease, because again, my mum, my nan had my great nan had autoimmune. They had like thyroid issues. Thanks, Veronica. My nan had it. My mum had it. I had autoimmune and I've healed it. I had thyroid issues and I've healed it. Okay, so I'm going to talk about that again in a minute, but I just want to continue with where I'm going. So, like I say, yesterday I saw my mum for the first time, and I actually said to my mum, Mum, what's going down on the death certificate? Is it going to go down as a COVID death? And she said, no, not at all, Lucy. She said, what's interesting, it wasn't the brain tumour that killed him. And I've known this all the way along, just so that you know, I am so freaking psychic. I wish people would stop pissing about and lying to me, because if they wouldn't lie, then, we'd all get the answers a lot sooner. If people would freaking listen. My uncle died of blood clots in the lungs. His brain tumours didn't kill him. The blood clots in the lungs were from the thing that goes in the vein. They used him as a guinea pig, as one of the first people to have it. And yes, he could have said no. Yes, he could have said no. They fucked with the wrong family this time. Now we are at war. Now we are at war. Okay? I'm grateful it's happened, because now I have proof. Now I have absolute proof. Okay? Yeah, like Veronica is saying, please, please, please just be very, very careful of the language we're using, guys. Nobody said anything wrong so far, so you're doing a really good job. But please just be very careful, because I'm on 2 strikes with YouTube and I want to keep speaking with you guys. So I am now officially impacted by this nonsense that's going on. And I knew, guys, you know that I have known all the way along. Now, he had the first one in December or January. I can't get the exact date, but December or January. They basically said to him, this is going to help you. This is going to help you. This will prolong you. This will keep you safe. No, you killed him. You killed him. That's murder. So now we've got, there is nobody can question this. Nobody can say, oh, this is just conspiracy. This is fact. And this is where we must start coming together. We must start coming together, because what they are doing, they are targeting the sick, the weak, the old, the vulnerable. That's who they are targeting, just to get rid of them, to get them out of the way. Let me be honest with you. At 67 years of age in the UK, you are entitled to start drawing down on a pension. Now, because my uncle was sick, there was a couple of things, and he literally couldn't draw down on his pension. So they were stopping him getting paid. Obviously, he couldn't work. He was literally bedbound for the last year. Well, not the last year, but for the last 6-8 months, he's been completely bedbound. So his business went to pot. The things that he used to do, the work he used to do, went to pot. The income was gone. However, the government decided, oh yeah, well, we can't give you your pension because of X, Y, and Z. So what they decided to do was kill him. Now, if anybody doesn't like what I'm saying, that's okay. But I'm not saying this because I want to create a reaction in you. I'm saying this because this has directly impacted my family. Now, I have been here all the way through. I've been on the front line talking about this stuff. I knew it would impact my family at some point. I knew. You guys knew I knew, because I've got half my family that are awake and half of my family that are fast asleep. I knew, of course, it's going to impact all of us. This is why I want to speak about death in a separate video. This is why I am doing these conversations, guys, because we need to raise the consciousness on this. Like I say, everybody, and I've been saying this for months, if not years, every single person is on their soul contract. Now, just because I'm sat here as an absolute warrior in front of you guys saying, this is where we're at, this is what's taking place, and I'm giving you the truth from my perspective, and I'm giving you that layer of consciousness, and I'm helping people ascend for fun. I've literally awoken thousands and thousands of people around the world. However, all of that aside, I feel that it's people like my uncle that have literally said, I'm going to do this. It's going to be them souls that awaken the people more. So just sit with that for one moment. They are the brave ones. I wouldn't have that shit in my body. I wouldn't have that shit in my body. So let's love these souls. Just because we don't agree with them, just because we don't like what they're doing, just because we want our family to stick around with us forever. Why do you think the soul family is coming back together? Why do you think so many of you want to watch my videos? I get hundreds of messages a day saying, Lucy, thank you so much. Your videos are touching my soul. I know that I'm here to do this work. Why do you think we are regrouping this lifetime? Because our families that we were born into are the ones that need to do their own soul contract. We cannot judge. We cannot judge. Yes, be cautious. We now know that the V is shedding, and I'm recommending people, my clients, between 2 and 4 weeks, like a minimum 2 weeks to 4 weeks of seeing people after they've had it. We know that it's taking place. We know that this is really impacting people onwards. I'm going to be honest with you guys. My little sister was impacted, as you guys know, from shedding. And I honestly, because she was glued to me the whole time, she was glued to me literally the day that it was happening. And I was obviously loving her because she's a child. I'm not going to push her away. And I honestly thought that this month my period would be really bad. I really, really thought that my period would be extremely bad and I would be shedding in a big way. But what I've been doing is I've been working on myself. I've been giving myself Reiki every single day without fail. I am making sure that I am loving myself, that I'm doing everything that I need to do. I'm connecting with nature. I'm kicking my shoes off. I'm going, you name it, I'm doing it all. And I've been saying to my body, please just release anything that has come to me from my little sister. Please just help me release it. Show me how I can do it so that so I can help anybody else going forward. So, and my period, I'm on my period right now, just so that you guys know, because that's what you really want to know, isn't it? And, you know, all the boys are like, here she goes again, periods. If it's not sex and orgasms, it's periods. Like, why does she have to do this? But the reason I'm sharing this right now is my period is absolutely normal. Literally absolutely normal, guys. So just do bear that in mind. We do not need to judge people for getting the vaccination. Yes, have a layer of care. Yes, have a level of consciousness around it. Sorry, Keith. You know, love it. Sorry about that, babe. Honestly, I know you're used to me by now, and we do need to have these conversations. But the whole point of me sharing this is, let's not judge other people. Let's not put other people down through our own fear, because that is exactly the same as the narrative that's taking place on the planet at the moment. Okay, please, 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 let's just embrace what's going on right now. Let's please just embrace what is going on right now. Maxine, I'm pleased that it's been able to help you. I am pleased that it's been able to help you, and allow the flow of emotions, babe. You must do. You know, we must allow these souls to go and do what they need to do. There is no judgment. I've got goosebumps all over me. I feel like they're with me. Yeah, we must allow them to go and do what they need to do. Just because we don't like it, just because it's cruel, just because, you know, like, human wants to be sad. And this is what I was saying on my Instagram live the other day, like, human Lucy, like this vessel, this skin and hair and stuff that you see, she's so sad because I hadn't spoken to my uncle because he can't speak. And me and him used to speak at least for about an hour or two every single week. So I, you know, like, for the last 6 months, I've been mourning, like, not hearing his voice. You know, like, I'd send him voice notes, and I would, you know, send him pictures, and just because he loved my photography work. So I would send him stuff and he would love it. And he, you know, you could see that he was so proud of me and so excited, but we just couldn't communicate. So human was sad. Human was very upset. Human is sad for my mum. Human is sad for my family. Human is sad for everybody that is going through this stuff right now. But my soul is like, I'm so fucking proud of you. I'm so proud of you for being brave. I'm so freaking proud of you. And, you know, when my mum told me that my uncle had actually stopped taking his medication like a few days earlier or a week earlier, it just told my soul everything that it needed to know. He was done. He was done. He was done. And I respect him for that. I love him for that. It's no life when you are somebody that loves to speak. It's no life to not be able to speak. It's no life to not be able to communicate. It's no life to not be able to go to the toilet on your own. Like, that's no life. And I am pro-life. But I'm also pro-choice. I don't condone anybody killing somebody else, just to be really freaking clear. However, you know, like, if somebody wants to kill themselves, and actually this is something that I was speaking about last night. If somebody wants to kill themselves, like, I don't want people to kill themselves. My gosh, we've got so much to live for. But if somebody wants to do that, that's their contract. It's their contract. Remember, everybody, all of our souls, we are here literally to just help each other. We're here to heal. We're here to come together and to communicate effectively. So I know I've had tears this week. You know, when my mum called me, I'm sure it was Thursday morning, she called me at about 10:30. And, you know, I had a lot of tears and I was very, very sad. You know, and you must release it. You must release it. Don't just sweep it under the carpet. But at the same time, we must recognize that there's going to be a lot of souls checking out. They're tired. People haven't had their medication. People haven't had their treatments. People are losing their homes. You wouldn't ever notice it with the bloody housing market, but it's true. People are losing their homes. Every single one of us, we've got a purpose. Every one of us. You know, my uncle's purpose, maybe, was to hand the fact that this is truly happening to somebody who has got a voice. Because I've got a voice, I've got a really good following. My following used to be a lot bigger when I was on Faceache, but my following is decent, and I'm very lucky that I've got the likes of, you know, Charlie Ward's 11 million people that I can share this message to get the message out. 11 million people is a huge number of people. All that I need to do is do a little video and get it out there, you know, and that goes out to 11 million people. It's a start. It's a start. Just because, you know, stop and think about why most saints, they're not ever a saint until they are the other side of death. Why all of a sudden are they a saint after they die? Because people appreciate what they've done. Nobody appreciates what people are doing at the time. Oh, I don't even need to question. Like, you guys know I speak to the dimensions. He's already shown me he's up there in 12th. So like, I don't need to worry about him. Like, he's fine. His soul is fine. I actually, when I found out about 4 hours later, sorry, I can just see like an angelic forming out of the window, and I'm like, here he is again. Really funny. So yeah, basically about 3 or 4 hours after I heard this, I actually did a meditation, and I actually saw my nan come down to pick him up to take him home. So you know, he's fine. He's fine. Yes, it's sad. Yes, I'm going to miss him. Yes, my mum's heart is completely broken, and my family's hearts are completely broken. However, he's handed me gold, literal gold, literal gold. Please don't think if this happens in your family that you have to be as up together. You know, please don't think that. I know he's going to be guiding me from here. He's going to be showing me. I picked up a new guide. It's as simple as that. As soon as he can communicate with me, give it a few weeks. Honestly, his voice will be back. All of the trauma that he's experienced this lifetime will be gone. And he will be happy at the other side. He'll be free. These people are sacrificing their souls to help us embody and bring in what is required for our future. So let's all just give one moment of peace to just send love and healing to my gorgeous Uncle Michael, who is one of the latest angels in the sky. Please do remember, it is a choice for everybody. People can say no. People can say no to any of this stuff that's going on. They can. The young, the old, the generation that I'm in. Please know that. Please know everybody can make a choice. They don't have to take the vaccine. Damn it. They don't have to, you know, say, I'm going to wear a mask. They don't have to do any of that. It's a choice. We must honour people's choices. Love them, no matter what. I'm not saying have a good old cuddle with them after they've had it, because, you know, we've got this shedding period. But they don't have to do it. It's a choice. So if somebody chooses to do it, and I'll be honest, I think it's the second one that, you know, is the dangerous one. So just be cautious. Just have a level of consciousness on it. You decide for you and allow people to decide for themselves. Remember, they're the brave ones taking it. They are the brave ones taking it. I'm not brave enough to have that in my body. No way. No way on my Nelly am I having that in my body. So let's talk quickly about autoimmune disease, because it links nicely on from that, and then I'm coming back to the pizza because I know Veronica was literally salivating over my pizza, and if you haven't seen it, you must go and check out my stories. Okay, let's talk about autoimmune really quickly. So the reason I'm doing it straight off the back of what I was just speaking about with regards to my uncle is most people think that autoimmune is a dis-ease. However, it's not. It's V damage. Yeah, it's V damage. Doesn't surprise me, Sharon. Doesn't surprise me at all, babe. Autoimmune disease was not even known of until the jabs got more frequent in humans. Just wasn't known. My generation have had less jabs than most 2-year-olds these days. Simple as that. You must heavy detox. Honestly, you must heavy detox. Please give up eating fish. Please give up eating meat, because it is absolutely slowly killing you from the inside out. Okay? Like, if you really, really love it, have it once or twice a week, but reduce it down. Autoimmune disease can be healed. Trust me, because I have done it myself. I used to be so poorly. So poorly. You know, and let's remember, we don't judge our parents because they were doing the best they could with the information that they had back then. Remember that. They were doing the best that they possibly could back then. It's our generation's job to heal it and to prove to people that we can heal. I've done it. I wouldn't be doing that, Lani. No way. I wouldn't be doing it. And I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not anti. I'm not. I'm pro-choice. I have done so much research. You know, I am extremely, extremely conscious. As you guys know, I have been on such a huge journey. Yeah, Anthony, I got that message as well. Yeah, I got that message too. In fact, I probably should cover that up as well, right? Come for your V. Come for your V. I am now in the age group to go for my V. No. Thanks, but no thanks. I'm going to skip. With the information that we know now, yeah, this is going in the bin. I just wanted to show you guys. With the information that we know now, anybody that is going to take this is, yeah, I will do. Anybody that is going to take this is doing what they choose to do. Okay, and we have to allow them to do that. However, I'm not going to be doing that. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I would never do it. I'd rather give up traveling, stay at home, and, you know, be single for the rest of my life than have that. Genuinely. So please recognise, we don't know what this is capable of doing to the physical vessel yet, but we do know because we've got the evidence. We've got the evidence to prove what has happened with the whole V program over the years. Okay, so please do recognise that autism, ADHD, like autoimmune diseases, any of those things. Yeah, I have done as well, Anthony. I love the fact that you've done that. I was like, block. So, you know, just remember, these things weren't around before. Not to the levels that they are today. Like, it's so normal. The amount of women that I see talking about their children and autism, I'm like, oh my gosh, just stop. You know, just stop. You're holding them in sickness when you're just banging on about it all the time. So first and foremost, stop that. That's an easy thing to do. Second thing, get them heavily metal detoxed. Get them on a plant-based diet, supplement them. Literally get them the best quality supplements that are literal fruits, veggies and berries on the market. Literal, that's it. You don't need any of the other toxins and chemicals because it's making them worse. We need to get their gut back. We need to allow the flow of information to go through their body. My nephew, who's 22, like he's very much on the autistic spectrum, but I don't work like that. I don't do that. I don't do that. I help him create the world that he wants to live in. You know, this is what we came for, guys. This is what's important. We must recognize, and all of us have been doing the best we could. If you've got your kids vaccinated, please do not judge yourself. Literally, don't judge yourself. Just do the research now, inform yourself and make the choices. Just make the choices. So let's talk about that pizza. Okay, so guys, I do not ever eat pizza. Pizza used to be my thing. Every Sunday night, I would be hanging out of my backside before going back to work on the Monday morning. And I used to order a big pizza and I used to eat it and I loved it. Do you get what I mean? I loved it, loved it, loved it. However, the dairy used to impact me very badly. The gluten and the wheat used to impact me very, very badly. And I was like, literally a couple of weeks ago, I said to the guy that I'm staying with, I was like, oh, do you know what? I really fancy a pizza. And he went, well, get one. And I said, no way, I just can't do it. I can't do it. Like my guts will hurt so much. It's just not worth, it's not pleasurable enough to do that because you can get ones without cheese and stuff like that. So it's, but it was just they're loaded with sugar. They're loaded with whatever. Now this yesterday, oh my gosh. So I went to somewhere near oh, bless you. I know, Anthony. I know, babe. I do know that. Thank you. Yeah, it's, I went to this new place that's right near a house that, fingers crossed, everybody just pray for me in this damn house. Please pray for me in this house because I love it so much. And I'm literally like, oh my gosh, I found it. And within a mile down the road, down a beautiful rural lane, there was this incredible place that I went for lunch with my mum and my stepdad yesterday. And I walked in and I was like, oh my God, this is just amazing. It is so, I'm actually designing an app, Joe. Me and one of my girlfriends are working on it as we speak. I promise you, it's going to only be for the people that haven't had the V. We're working on it at the moment. So watch this space, everybody that's single out there. There is hope coming for you. A little bit of hopium for you on this Sunday morning. Anyway, like I was saying, I went in and I saw this pizza menu and I was like, that's interesting. And at the top it said vegan sourdough. And I was like, what? And then it said gluten free. And I was like, what? And then it was like dairy free, literally everything. And I was like, what? And so they obviously had normal pizzas, but they had this one vegan one. And I was like, oh my gosh, this sounds amazing. But then I was looking on the other menu and they had this sweet potato burger, which sounded freaking amazing as well. And it was all the stuff it was loaded with. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is just so exciting. I am so, so happy. Yeah, so basically I'm just there loving life. Anyway, I spoke to this person and I said to him, the guy that was serving us, I just said, I cannot do refined sugar. I cannot do dairy. I cannot do wheat. I cannot do gluten. But the pizza sounds amazing. So, and he said, none of it's in there. And he went and he got the ingredients. I can't remember what they all are, but he got me all of the ingredients for the pizza base. And listen to this. So, on the top was cauliflower, green olives, and it had harissa. If you don't know what harissa is, it's like a beautiful tomatoey with a bit of a chili kick to it and a few other spices like paprika and stuff like that. And instead of it did have some cashew cheese on it. So it's basically cashew nuts ground down and then, whatever they do to turn it into cheese. So add a bit of that on it. But what they did, which was the best bit in my opinion, was they put loads and loads and loads and loads of garlic like literally loads and loads and loads and loads of garlic. And it was almost like, you know, when you have the cheese that goes kind of bubbly with that and the cashew. Oh my God, I was in heaven. I was literally having orgasms eating this food. I was like, oh my God, this is the best thing ever. Guys, I ate the whole freaking pizza. And I ate a portion of mushrooms beforehand. None of it had sugar. None of it had a dairy, none of it had wheat, none of it had gluten. I was literally in heaven, and I'm like, this fucking house, excuse my French, this fucking house that's a mile down the road is mine, bitches. I was like, there is no way that that house is not mine, because that has to be my local. My golly gosh, it was just the most amazing experience ever. I had beautiful lemongrass tea. It was just amazing. I love garlic, and it's so good for you. I love it so, so much. Am I going to try and remake it? I am, but I'm going to do it on a different base. So I am seriously manifesting right now that this house is going to be mine, because I love it, guys. You will love it. It is just, it's like a palace. I just love it so much. And this pizza, how did you guess, Keith? How did you guess? Of course. So basically what I'm going to say is, back up. When I get this house, I'm going to arrange a get together at that place. So I don't care where you are around the world, you can come to that place and come and have lunch with me. So that's basically, long story short, food porn at its best, honestly. And they had a beautiful farm shop there, and they had a beautiful like cookery school there. And I'm like, oh my gosh, even if I can't make it myself, I am so going to go there, and I'm going to go there and learn how they do this, because it was amazing, guys. It was amazing. Now, like literally, I was like saying to my mum and my stepdad, I was like, people are going to be looking at my stories going, my God, look at her. She's eating really fat food today. It was amazing. And by the way, those mushrooms that I had, if you saw the mushrooms, please do, Meredith. You're welcome, my love. If you saw the mushrooms I had, oh my God, I've never had mushrooms like it in my life. They were the most, like, literally, I'm sat there and I'm, oh, this is amazing. And my mum and my stepdad are wetting themselves, because they're like not seen me in 14 months. And they're like, oh my God, we've missed you so much, because I'm so over the top with food. I am so over the top. I haven't made it yet, so I've got no clue how it's going to turn out, but it was absolutely freaking awesome. So long story short, you do not have to feel like you're missing out because you're plant-based. It's a non-negotiable for me. I do not ever have things that are not in alignment with my body. Oh, I agree, Joe, but I eat like about 2 punnets a week anyway. Really good for the thyroid. I eat about 2 punnets a week anyway. So like a man doesn't have a chance in getting any mushrooms around me. It is what it is. So guys, that's everything I wanted to share this morning. I'm pleased that I've been able to get through it all. Whatever you're doing this Sunday, please go and enjoy yourself. If you get a moment, send love up to the heavens to all the souls that have gone. Just really be cautious and careful of allowing the people to to just get it at the moment. Please, I'm asking you, let's come together and let's ditch the judgment. Let's ditch this division that's taking place. Hold hands with each other, love on each other. If you want to wear red lipstick, wear the goddamn red lipstick. If you want to go boxer shortless, men, please do that, even if that's, I don't know if that's a word or not, but please go and do that. Guys, as you're jumping off this video, please do remember to hit the thumbs up button so that YouTube will allow it to go further. Do remember to subscribe to the channel. Like I say, I've actually got 6 round tables that are coming up over the course of the next few weeks on all sorts of different subjects. I'm also going to be doing this really important video on death. I'm also going to be doing a couple of videos very soon, just increasing the consciousness of what's been going on recently, because there's a number of people that are, kind of saying, oh, I've been booted out of this group and I've been booted out of that. And I just want to raise the consciousness as to why my admins are doing some really good work behind the scenes at the moment to keep, the missions that we're on very, very safe. Guys, I love you all very much, very much. Keith, Veronica, thank you as always for your support. I love you guys to the moon and stars, and I will see you all for Sunday service next week. See you on Instagram if you are around during the week. Mwah. Lots of love, guys. Don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and share this with anyone that you think might need to hear it. Lots of love. Take care.